Hi, my name's Steve Vaughan, Director of Instruction here at the Crossings at Carlsbad. And what we're going to be talking about today in the golf swing is the weight transfer back and through the golf ball. A lot of times people get very confused with how the weight transfers on the backswing. And I see people, a lot of my students, they'll actually shift their whole body over here to the right as they're swinging back in that position. What we really want to do is we want our upper body to shift over to the right into a very stable right side. So as you can see, as I'm turning back, my hips actually turning down slightly and my shoulders are turning behind onto my right side. I've had a lot of people have a lot of trouble feeling this movement. So what I did was I created a training aid. And this training aid will actually help people feel the proper turn. It's built at an angle here to keep people slightly tilted here so they don't shift their weight on the right outside of the right foot. And there's a bar that comes up and it fits just outside your right leg. So immediately when you step on it, you already feel a resistance. You don't want to move your lower body over to the right. So once I get them standing on this, they start feeling this hip turning, and then all of a sudden it gets real easy to get their shoulders over here to the right side. When people start doing this, the body's designed to stay upright, and so what happens is they start doing this and their shoulders will start tilting over here to the right. So once I can get people turning their hips properly down, all of a sudden it just feels more natural to get your shoulder weight over here to the right side. This helps so much with ball contact because once you start doing this, the golf club starts coming down all over the place. You're going to hit it fat, thin, the shoulders don't turn properly. But once you can get on this, all of a sudden everything changes. Now my shoulders are turning properly. The golf club's swinging more around me as opposed to up if my weight's transferring over in this position. So this has been a great tool for my students to get them to feel the proper weight shift during the backswing. Once I can get my student in that position, now here's another confusing part of the golf swing. People will say, well, do I start my downswing with my hips, with my knees, with my arms? There's all kinds of different things that people think is proper in the golf swing. Well, if we can get turned properly and our upper body shifted into our right side, it makes it so much easier to get things started. So once you get in a proper position, the downswing is really just a bump over here to the left side. So I get turned properly, I get my shoulders behind me, and I just kind of bump over, and then that kind of leads everything else. The golf swing is actually two circles. It's a backswing circle here, and then the downswing circle is actually over here to the left just slightly. It's not a turn and a turn, it's a turn, a slight shift, and then another turn. So as you can see, I turn over here, I move slightly over to my left, and then I open up. If you do this properly, your right foot will actually roll in a little bit. People ask me, they say, well, I play a lot of baseball, and it's a pretty good excuse for one part of the golf swing, and that's kind of the right foot. The right foot in baseball will spin this way, and the right foot in golf will kind of roll in. So as I get turned properly, I bump over here to the left, and then I finish my golf swing by rolling up to the toe. So you really have to get into, it's all parts of the golf swing to make a good golf swing. you can't just do one part and not another. So remember, the weight shift is really upper body shifting into a braced right leg, and the downswing starts with just a little bump over here to the left. It's not knee, arms, shoulder, hip. Get into a proper position here, and then everything gets started. I think you basically have control over everything up to that point. So you have control over your grip, you have control over your setup, you have control over your turn, and you have control of the start of your golf swing. After that, everything is just going to happen. So get the weight transfer proper, get the start of the swing going, and if you do all those things properly, everything should take care of itself and you should hit good golf shots. Hi, my name's Steve Vaughan, Director of Instruction here at the Crossing Carlsbad. And what we're going to talk about real quick here today is the shoulder at setup with driver. And what I see is a lot of people who slice a golf ball, they'll say, well, when I start the first couple holes I hit a slice and then it just tends to grow on itself and get worse and worse and worse. And what happens is, say I set up in this position for my first one and my shoulders are slightly open and the golf club comes across and I hit a little slice. Well, as your eyes see it go to the right, your body instinctually will start moving more and more left. So the next one you're here, more across, more slice. You see it go to the right. Next thing you know, by the 17th or 18th hole, your shoulders are way over here, and the ball's slicing 50, 60 yards. So it's a little bit counterintuitive, but what you have to do immediately when you see that first ball go out to the right a little bit is you need to turn your shoulders towards the right. So if I don't want the golf ball to go to the right, I need to turn my shoulders to the right when I set up. And it might feel like this if you've been very open, and you'll probably be about in this position here. The golf club is going to rotate right in the center of your body. So if I set up here, if I set up over here to the left, the golf club doesn't square until it's way over there, which is way too late. If I set up over here, the golf club is going to square here and actually rotate closed. So we're trying to get our shoulders right back to where we started. If you set up here, you're going to set up, if you set up in this position, you're going to hit a slice. If you set up here, you have a good chance to hit it straight. And if you actually set up here, you're going to hook the ball. So remember, if you're slicing a golf ball, you need to turn your shoulders into where you don't want to hit it. It feels very counterintuitive, but that's what you need to do to hit it, to stop slicing the golf ball.